Hello, friends, and how are you? Scrum is the most important methodology in Agile framework. In new PMP, it is expected that 50% of the questions will be related to Agile methodology, and in those agile methodology, 60 to 80% of the questions will be predominantly from Scrum. So mastering Scrum is important for your exam point of view. If you can master Scrum, I'm sure you can clear your PMP exam. And since the context which we are getting, the feedback which we are receiving from the student, that more number of questions are towards agile methodology. So this makes it even more important to understand Scrum in the best possible way. So what is the best possible way? Best possible way is to go back to the basic. The basic of Scrum. What is the basic of Scrum? Three empirical process are the basic of Scrum. They are transparency, inspection, and adoption. So there are three empirical process: transparency, inspection, and adoption. Transparency, inspection, and adoption. What does the transparency mean? Transparency means that you are transparent, you are clear. What you are doing is visible. If I can say it is visible, like your work, it can be seen, then you are more towards transparency. So you need to understand the three empirical processes: transparency, inspection. Anyone can check your deliverable at any time. You must ensure that your deliverables are being checked by the relevant stakeholder. It includes frequent verification and validation. Then the most important thing, actually I would consider it as most important thing, and that is adoption. Adopting to the new environment, adopting to the change, welcoming change even in the later stage of the process. So inspection, transparency, and adoption. Three empirical process. The first three things that you must understand for your PMP exam point of view. And the same relevant goes for if you are even preparing for your ASCP exam. This is even it goes the same if you are preparing for your certified Scrum Master. But let's focus it right now to PMP methodology. Okay. Now we know that empirical processes. What else we need to know about Scrum? There are basically three major important team members of a Scrum team: product owner, Scrum master, and the third one is development team. Product owner is basically customer representative, or he is representing customer in a way that he is maintaining product backlog, which we will discuss in a while. Scrum master is a servant leader. Is a servant leader. He is basically responsible. He is responsible for all the works that is going to be done. And development team, they are most of the time or preferably co-located, self-managing, self-organized team. Self-organized. What does the self-organized team mean? They make their local decisions by themselves. They select the task by themselves. So they are the three important team members: product owner, scrum master, and developer. From exam point of view, let's see Scrum in a better way. Now, this is the major framework of Scrum. First of all, you make a product vision. What is the product vision? What do you want to achieve in the project? What do you want to achieve in the long term as well as in short term in the project? So you make a product vision. Then you break down your product vision through product roadmap. Through product roadmap. You can there are many ways to make a product roadmap. One of them is story map. Basically, what do you do in the story map? You put what are the things that are the backbone of your processes, what is the skeleton for them, and what are the releases, how many releases you are going to have. Normally it is minimum two releases, and generally it is 4 to 6 releases, but for exam point of view, just need to know that there is always more than one release. And in release we have iterations: release 1, release 2, release 3, then we have iteration inside them. Okay, so here we go on the here, this side. Product vision is clear, release planning for these releases, high level planning for these releases. So we make basically from release planning, we make product backlog. What do we make? We make product backlog. What is product backlog is basically it's a combination of user stories. It's a combination of user stories. Actually, I wouldn't say the combination, collection of all user stories. Collection of all, if I can make the pen a bigger, collection, oh no, it's not good. Collection of all user stories, and they are prioritized. What do I mean by prioritize? This is number one, this is number two, this is number three, number four, number five, number six. Who prioritize it? Product owner basically prioritize the product backlog with the development, with the basically customer. With the customer, because he's a representative of customer, product owner prioritize the product backlog. So we have backlog task, and the prioritized backlog, the development team at the start of a sprint, they go and select some of the task from the product backlog, whatever they can do. Like now there are always trade-off. Let's say the product owner want more task, whereas the team cannot do that task. So there is always a trade-off, what can be done and what cannot be done. So we make sprint backlog in sprint meeting. From backlog we make sprint backlog and sprint planning meeting. We evaluate that, and we divide the story into task. What is basically story? Story is more like this: as a user, as a user I want to do so that. And user story is mostly written on 3 by 3 card. We write as a user, you define yourself, I want to, what do you basically, what do you want to have, and how can you measure, so that all user stories must follow the acronym INVEST. They must be independent, they must be negotiable, they must be independent, negotiable, valuable, estimatable, scalable, time bound, and small. So they must always follow the acronym INVEST: independent, negotiable, valuable, estimatable, scalable, yeah, small, or testable. So once you have made the user stories in the product backlog, you prioritize it. You basically, that is called grooming of product backlog. Then you go to sprint planning meeting. In planning meeting, the team select the stories which they can do, and then they make a sprint backlog. Once the sprint backlog is done, the sprint goal is shared with the stakeholders. Now, this is important to know. The goal is shared with the stakeholders, all the customers. Customer collaboration is the number one and the most important thing in Agile. So once that is done, the team start developing. Now, this is important to know. Once the sprint is started, no product must be entered into it. The sprint must not cancel it. This is a general rule. Of course, a product owner can cancel the sprint if it is extreme necessary, if the product they are working is not viable, and only product owner can add or remove anything from sprint backlog. But there is always trade-off. If he wants to add something, something has to be removed from it. Then the team have daily meeting, that is known as stand up daily scrum meetings, same time, same location. At that, then once that is done, and there's a duration of 1 to 4 week is completed, then we have sprint review meeting where demo of the product is given, to people. When the demo is given to the customer, they can come and they look. For example, if they have asked for 1 million pen, maybe we make one prototype of like this pen and show them, and they will check. Okay, it has two button. How much button we name? Okay, it has the name of Acom on it. Okay, this is not good, this is good. Basically, we show them, and they check it on the agreed category of definition of done. This is an important thing to know. Definition of done on your user story. Let's say this is a user story. Here will be written, as a user I want this so that I can do that. On the back side of the story, definition of done, that is agreed between product owner and development team, must be written so that we can evaluate what does done mean. When we can evaluate that the work has been spell it. Yeah, definition of done is okay. Done, what does done mean? So that is basically sprint review. Once the sprint review is done, it's over. The product backlog is reprioritized. Maybe more stories are entered, or the priority of the old stories have been changed. Then we have sprint retrospective. In sprint retrospective is more towards the time of reflection. The team come together, they sit together, and they discuss what they have done bad, what they have done good, what to keep, what to leave, what they should do, what they should not do. All those things are decided in sprint retrospective. Let's just go into a little bit more detail of it and see how we can understand it in a better way. Okay, so let's go. So we are here in sprint planning meeting. So in sprint planning meeting, we have taken user stories from the product backlog. We will evaluate what can be delivered in this increment, this 1 to 4 week of sprint, and how the work will be delivered. Like we divide the user stories into smaller tasks, and then we sequence the task that this will come first. Maybe we have that old finish to start, finish to finish, start to start logic there. Then once the sprint planning is done, we communicate to stakeholders. We go to daily stand up. Daily stand up happens same time, same location. Development team comes together. They basically discuss with each other. They are telling us this. They are telling to each other the status of the product. This is not for the stakeholders. This is not for the product owner. But product owner can attend the meeting, but he has to be a silent observer, because there can be no comment. This is not right. This is not wrong. Only three questions must be there. Every team member, if he has a task, he will speak and he will tell, what did I do yesterday? What will I do today? And is there any roadblocks, stumbling blocks, impediments, anything that can stop me for doing work? The reason is that once you tell others the status, they can understand where they stand, and is there any work that they are doing that can pose impediments to them. So in this way, in 15 minutes, in a very short span, everyone know the status of everything. And you see, here basically the three empiricals which we studied: inspection, we are doing the inspection, we're talking to each other. Transparency is there. So this basically daily stand up gives us the real transparency of how work is being done. And maybe we have information radiators, the burn down charts there, which are telling us what to do and how things are going here. So once that is done, after the end of that, we have product increment. What is product increment? Basically, it is one of the sprint artifact. We have three sprint artifact, three documents: product backlog, sprint backlog, and product increment. Product increment is basically a sum of all the work that has been completed so far, which has agreed to the definition of done. The product must be usable. Here we must give something as a minimum viable product, a minimum MVP or MMM. We basically use both name. Minimum viable product we must have make, or minimum marketable feature product, because in the next step In sprint review, we are going to show that minimum marketable product or minimum marketable feature to the client. We are going to show them. Here the stakeholders come in sprint review and they review our product. They check whether we have made it according to the requirement. Here they will review the product. Here they will have the demo of the product. They will check and they will accept or reject. Here the product owner can reprioritize the sprint backlog or product backlog for next sprint. And very important thing, during the sprint duration, if some of the tasks, let's say we have selected 10 user stories and we were able to complete only 8 user stories in that time. So the two other stories will go back to the product backlog and they will be again reprioritized. This also happens there. So once sprint review is done, the product backlog has been reprioritized. Now the next thing is the team will sit together. They will check what they have done, how they have done, how they can improve, what are the relationship, what to keep, what not to do, what to do, and they will make smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic time-bound goals for the next sprint, so that they can see how they can basically improve themselves, how they can improve their processes. Sprint retrospective is very important. Here you are doing transparency, inspection, and you are adopting according to the feedback. So sprint retrospective is one of the most important thing in Scrum. So we update the product backlog and this process goes on and goes on. And this way, this becomes a cyclic process. So this is all about Scrum that you need to know from your exam point of view. There are few values of Scrum that you can get a question regarding what are the values of Scrum. The values of Scrum are courage. You need to have a courage because you are doing a work. You need to be open because transparency demand you have to be open. You have to respect each other. You have to be focused and you have to have a commitment. So courage, respect, openness, focus and commitment are some of the values of Scrum. So that's it about Scrum. And if you can understand all the things that I mentioned, you can clear a lot of questions regarding Scrum. Plus, please understand this thing. This is very important thing. You are not going to get a direct question. You are going to get a scenario question. So you need to prepare yourself to solve the scenario. And we are going to have coaching session very soon to help you with that too. Okay, see you until next time. Stay legendary.